In this video, I'm going to go over how to actually work with Unity version control, aka Plastic. I do have a previous video where I talk about how to get an account and how to put your project in Unity version control. This video is going to show you how to actually work with it. So the two kind of important areas that we have in Unity version control are our pending changes and our branch explorer. The branch explorer is a visual representation of the flow of our data as we do our check-ins. So each time we push new files, it'll make a new little bubble, and so on and so on and so on. We can also create branches off of these bubbles so we won't disturb anything that was previously checked in, and it's meant for multiple people working on the same project, as well as if you want to kind of do some experimentations and you're not quite sure if it's going to work and you don't want to kind of destroy your base project. So I just have a really simple project. I just pushed it, but I kind of want to show you a little bit on how this works, with, pushing things and saving stuff up to the cloud. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new scene, because who wants to work in a sample scene? We'll just do a basic URP, and I'm going to save this out into my scenes folder. And let's clean up our project a little bit, even from the start. So I don't really need any of this tutorial info that it kind of spits out into here. This is, kind of not necessary for us to keep in here. It kind of just takes up space. So I am just going to go ahead and delete that. The other thing is I am going to delete out the extra scene, that sample scene. I don't need it. I'm going to delete out sample scene. And I am going to keep the settings. Those are kind of nice just to have, just as kind of like default settings. But, we don't really need any of that stuff. So I'm going to save, Control S real quick, and I'm going to pop open Unity version control to see what happened. So, we don't see anything in our branch explorer because we haven't actually committed anything. We only see bubbles appear when we check in our pending changes. So if I go over to pending changes, it's going to show me everything that's different since the last time I checked in. You don't always want to push everything. There might be some stuff that doesn't need to get pushed. So be a little bit mindful of that. So we changed some of these. Sometimes these just by default, when you open the project or even just like touch something, it's going to change the shader graph settings and the URP project settings. On bigger projects, you might want to put these on the ignore list so that they don't constantly get pushed, because it's not really necessary unless you do actually mean to make changes to those. It found that we deleted out that sample scene. We also need to make sure that we delete out the tutorial info. It was not checked to be pushed. And we added in these demo scene stuff, and that's correct. So we do always want to put in a comment to say what we did. It's sometimes easy to overlook these, but when you're in a pinch and trying to find the specific push that broke your project, it's nice to kind of go back and figure out what you were doing. So this is just initial cleanup of our project. So I'm going to check that in. And then if we go over to the branch explorer, we see we have a new bubble. Now we can go back and we can start doing stuff. We can make some new folders. That's always a good thing for, let's do like a materials folder. We should probably have a models folder. We should probably have a script folder. Oops. Clicked on the wrong thing. That's fine. I'll put it in materials. Scripts. And maybe prefabs. That's usually a common one. And we can start to, put some stuff in there. So let's, for the sake of time, I'm just going to work with some primitives. So we'll just make like a plane. We'll call it ground. I'll reuse that material I made by accident. Let's rename it real quick. We'll call it green, because it's just going to be a flat green material. Put that there. And we love this ground so much. This is perfect that we are going to make a prefab of it so we can put it all in our other scenes. All right, I'm going to save this. And I'm going to go and I'm going to push it. So we're going to go to pending changes. And it says, these are the things that changed. Again, see that URP project settings, that's always going to be changing. So you can usually hide that. We did change our scene. We did add all these things. So I'm also going to push this one too, just to make sure. We made a ground prefab and a material and set up folders. Check that in. Now we have our next bubble. So this is where it can get really powerful. So it happens that we make mistakes, even as solo devs, and we could be working and not realizing that we made a mistake. Like, what if I'm going through, I'm busy, and I'm like, oh man, I'm going to delete out some stuff I don't need. And I come in and I delete out this ground. And it even says you cannot undo this once you've done it. And oh no, the ground is gone, but we really needed that. In fact, we were really bad, and we also deleted out material. And now we're in a lot of trouble. You know, obviously it's a simple asset we could easily remake right now, but it could be a more complex thing or more objects than just those two. But since we use Unity version control, we can fix our problem. I'm going to go to pending changes, and we can see it shows that we did delete those objects. What we can do is I'm going to select those. I'm going to right click. Let me. Sorry, let's select those, right click. I'm going to say undo. You're going to undo the 4 changes. So anything that I changed, this includes if it was like a changed thing, not just a delete. Like what if you made a change to it and it's saying that you changed it? We can undo that, and it will go to the last check-in we had for that. And if we pop back here, we can see that it is now back to where it was, even though it did say that it was being deleted forever. So it's very helpful, again, to make sure that if we end up making mistakes, we can go back and pull previous versions. It's just nice to have your projects backed up somewhere. Like, what if something catastrophic happens on your computer and it's just gone? We have a backup, and hopefully we haven't lost too much. The last thing I do want to show is branching, and this is more for working with multiple people. Generally though, like sometimes you might want to branch as a single person. The concept to kind of keep in mind with branching is you should use the main branch as your ready to go branch. The only things that get put in main branch are buildable, and they are ready. There's no test things. There's no like half-finished things. Only finished things get pushed into your main branch. From the main branch, we can make other branches. You just right-click, create branch from this change set. Maybe this is going to be our art branch for all art changes. We could also have a branch for programming. Create branch from this change set for all programming work. And this works really great for larger teams where you might have multiple artists and multiple programmers where they're not working in the main branch, they're branching off of these sub branches. So if you have like an art team of like 3 people, they would then make their own branches off of these to do artwork. Generally, it's not a good practice to have super long branches. Like for these ones, they're fine because they're kind of like sub main branches. But if you're doing like personal branches, like I need a branch for me to do work on, I wouldn't just call it like Amber's big branch, or, you know, whoever's programming having their own branch. Instead, it's better to have mini branches where you're doing a specific task. In fact, the best way to do this is to have this connected with something like Jira or Trello, where you would create branches off of this based on the Jira task, because you could put the number in it and like what the words are, so that you could easily go back and find the branch for that task you were doing. That's for bigger teams. For smaller teams, most likely you would just, you know, create, I'll create a new branch for this, create child branch. And this is going to be for, branch name is adding simple shapes. I'm going to create that. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a few models to this. Let's create a cube. I'm going to put that in as a prefab, actually. Sorry, not a model. We'll do a sphere. And these are the simple shapes I needed to create. I'm going to save it. I'm then going to go to here. I can see I'm in the art, adding simple shapes. So I'm gonna look at my pending changes. I did update that scene. Maybe I didn't want to do that. Maybe I didn't mean to actually change that scene. I was just supposed to put the prefabs in. Somebody else is working in that scene and they're going to get pretty mad at me for doing that. So I don't want to push that. I'm just going to say added shape prefabs. I'm going to check that in. This one I shouldn't have touched. I'm going to get in trouble. So I'm going to undo any changes I made to that. I'm then going to, and this is merging kind of weird, but probably because I didn't do any art check-ins yet. I'm going to merge, because this is supposed to go to the art branch. I'm going to right click. I'm going to say merge from this change set to, because I need to push my work now to my art branch. Merge from this change set to art. These are the things that I'm trying to push to the art branch that are now different. Luckily, I did not push the environment because I wasn't supposed to. I was just supposed to add these. So we're going to check it in. Merging from working branch or something like that. And we can see we're pushing it up into there. Somebody then, let's just say we're going to create a branch from this change set called, let's see, this will be Betty's branch. Let's say we're working on a smaller team and we're just kind of doing it that way. Betty now has all of that information from the simple shapes. Maybe Betty had to create, yes, we're going to reload that scene. Betty had to create materials. So Betty's going to create some materials. Betty created a red material. Then we're going to go back to plastic. And we're going to push the red material. Betty's art director says, looks good to me. We're going to push that to art. So we're going to say merge from this change set to the art branch. So while this is all going on, the programmers have been doing their thing, but they haven't been messing with the art, and art's not getting in the way of programming. The person working on this branch, actually, we would probably abandon that and just make another one. But for the sake of this, let's pretend this was someone else's branch. We could then pull Betty's changes, not directly from Betty, from the art branch. We're going to say merge from this change set into ours. You do have to come back and do an actual pending changes because you haven't committed them to your branch yet. Pulled from art branch. We can see we now have everything in there. So this method of the art team pushes to an art branch when they get the go ahead, and then everybody else pulls into their branch, ensures that people are not overwriting files and working on top of each other. After, you have a certain amount done, the person in charge of art, or maybe like a hired director, would then say, is everything currently in the art branch good to go? We're not breaking anything. Everything's been checked. Yes. Okay. We're going to merge from this change set to the main branch. These are all the things that are different, and that is fine. Merge from art. And now the main branch has all of art's changes. Then other departments or other people could pull those changes into where they're working. So you would then merge this, merge from this change set to the programming branch. Oh, it's mad about something. It might be mad that, oh, there it goes. Check and merge. Merge from main. And we can see now that anyone working on the programming branch can pull and have all of that main stuff. So it does seem a little bit complex at first. Just being mindful of who is working on what branch and who has permissions to push is kind of the key here. And this is how you keep your projects working really nice. Again, even as a solo dev, I still use version control so that I can make sure that I'm not losing stuff, or if I make a mistake, I can always go back and work with it. I will have another video that talks about how to invite other people into your project.